So with the exciting news of the release from DJI, the DJI Neo is now available as of yesterday, as I'm sure you all know. And that means one thing, the latest Fly app 1.14.0. Let's do this. So hello and welcome once again to the channel on this very fine day in the UK. So as I just said, 1.14.0 is now available for all drones on the App Store if you use the iOS devices, and also for Android 1.14.1 is available from the DJI website, and a little bit more about that later on in the video. So if you're an Android user, stick around. So what does it bring us? Well, basically compatibility for the DJI Neo, as I've just said, and it's across a few controllers. So the RCN2 and the RC2 controller is now compatible with those two devices, and also the latest controller, the RCN3 as well. So as I've just said, the Neo comes with a combo pack with 3 batteries, and along with the latest new controller, the RCN3. However, as a little bit of a guide for you, if you do own the RCN2, as I do with the Air 3 and for the Mini 4, and also the DJI RC2, they are now compatible with the latest release for the DJI Neo. So I thought I'd just point out that to you, because I did consider buying the Neo, and I was torn with the leaks online on Twitter, or X as they call it now, and I thought to myself, shall I, shan't I? Is it gimmicky? Is it a good drone? Is it a beginner drone? Is it for kids? Is it for competent flyers? Where does it sit? And that's what I thought. Anyway, so what I've decided to do is I've decided to buy the drone alone. Okay, so what that means is you don't have to go out and buy the combo package for £169. The drone alone gives you the drone and 1 battery, and I've also sent for a battery alongside from DJI to go with it as a spare battery. So if you want to save you a few quid and you're thinking of buying the Neo, then maybe that's the way you should go. But I'll talk about that a little later on in the video. Now, unfortunately for the guys that use the Mini 3 Pro and the DJI RC, the Fly app 1.14.0 is not available at this moment for that Mini 3 Pro and the original DJI RC. That's in abeyance, but no doubt it will come through. And I think the simple reason is, at the moment, the Neo, as I've just said, is 04 OcuSync. So alongside the Air 3 and the Mini 4 Pro, there's so many drones to mention. So looking in the menus, you can see quite clearly that there's only one subtle change, and that is in the transmission tab, where it's now showing at the bottom, as you can see just here, the bandwidth for whichever band it's using at the time during its OcuSync, whether it opts over to 2.4 or 5.2, 5.8. So that's the only subtle change. But what I will say to you is make sure that you do check all your menus and all the settings, because on the last update it did alter some of mine, especially in the safety tab. So you want to make sure that the return to home is selected, because that's one important feature that we all need when we're out flying our drones. And on the last occasion, for me, it did change the expo settings. So if you've altered your expo settings and you've made it compatible for yourself, then do check those as well. Make sure that the camera settings are all the same as they were before you did the update. Just to add, there is new firmwares available for the Air 3, as you can see just there, 01001500. That's for the Air 3, added support for the RCN3 and fix some known issues. And also one for the DJI Mini 4 Pro, as you can see just here, 01000700, and also for the RC2 version 02070000. What a mouthful. So I did think I would take the Mini 4 Pro out for a bit of a test fly, as I normally do, because I know you guys out there do like to have a bit of confidence in updating your drones before you actually do it. And that's why I do this little flight test. So let's look into that video straight away and see exactly what it brings. So okay, here we go then with the first little flight test with the Mini 4 Pro. I just want to make sure that things are working as it should. First thing I'm going to do is just have a little bit of a fly around. One or two birds around this morning, so we'll have to watch out for those. Controls seem to be working fine anyway. Just going to change the speed modes and make sure that they're all working as they should. And a lot of people do say to me sometimes, why do you do these flight tests? And there's a lot of guys out there that like a little bit of confidence in updating. Switch it back to normal mode. They like to have that confidence that the drone is working as it should before they update and that there's no problems. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of a quick spotlight. Nice short test flight today. So I'm just going to select myself, and as you can see it's found a car straight away. So we'll just do a little bit of a spotlight around my car. As you can see, that's working absolutely spot on. We'll just cancel that out. While we're here, we'll do a little bit of a droney, a quick shot. What you can actually do with the droney is you can actually get above yourself and then you can top down. I'll just show you this little trick. If we top down on my car and select the subject and it go, 3, 2, 1. You can see that countdown is now working correctly. So as it starts to do its droney, what it will do is it will start to reveal the background, which is kind of nice. What you can actually do is if you set it so it does a further distance, it will reveal the total background. But as you can see, that's working absolutely spot on. No problems whatsoever. So we'll cancel that. And we'll go back into video mode. And we'll spin him around. And bring the gimbal up. And we'll go for a little fly up the field. That corn crop seems to be growing quite nicely. That was the last out here. Now you can probably see on the compass it's not actually showing the correct orientation. I'm actually pointing at the drone and it's not actually pointing the right way. Now I did notice this on the last update, so the compass is a little bit off, but I have flown before using the RCN2 controller and it works absolutely fine. So I'm just twisting the controller around, and now you can see it's pointing directly at the drone, but it's sort of like about, I would say, 70 degrees out. So we'll just do a quick return to home.
Return to home.
Make sure that function works, because that's one of the things that you need to make sure is working correctly. Obviously, if you used to lose signal, you want it to come back to where you took off from. And as you can see, that's working absolutely fine. So we'll just cancel out of that, and we'll bring it back to us. And we'll wrap that one up and we'll call that one done, and we'll summarise back in the studio. So as you saw on the test flight, it flies absolutely fine. The little things that I tested, the spotlight and the quick shot, return to home, I wanted to make sure that that was working okay. I think I did point out there the compass was slightly off. It's about, I don't know, 70, 80 degrees out. But I did notice that on the last update, so maybe that's something that DJI might need to look at. It's not too critical. I did fly with the RCN2 and the Air 3 as well, and using the phone, the iOS device, the compass was absolutely fine. So I don't know, maybe there's just a little quirk there with the compass. So getting back onto the Android side of things, a couple of weeks ago I did a video and I left a link for a beta fix. And as I've just stated, the Android download from the DJI website at the moment is 1.14.1. Now, what I'm kind of guessing, because I can't test it because I don't have an Android phone anymore, is that they've actually introduced the fix permanently for the Pixel phones, and there was a couple of other phones as well that the app was just crashing. So hopefully, if you can let me know down in the comments if this has actually fixed it for you. If not, you have still got that beta fix, and I'll leave a card up there for you to check that video out if you're still having those issues with those phones. So the good news is the DJI RC2 is now available for the Neo, as I said earlier in the video, and that's what I shall use it with if I'm going to use it with a controller. And I'm sure you've seen many videos since the release of the Neo, and like I say, mine's on its way. It should be here tomorrow, and I will be bringing you some content with the DJI Neo and just giving an honest review. Is it a gimmick? Is it gimmicky? Is it a toy? Is it a proper drone? And that's what I intend to do. I intend to put it through its paces and see if it's actually worth the money. At the end of the day, it's a cheap drone. DJI have got the marketing right, but where, like I said before, where does it sit? Does it sit in, a professional drone? Is it a beginner drone? Is it a toy? Is it made for kids? I know it's got a few AI features in there, what I'm interested to test out, like voice cancellation with the prop. So I'm looking forward to testing that drone out. So if you're thinking of buying the Neo and you're new around here, you might want to consider subscribing and dinging the dong and all the rest of it that goes with it. I'm sure you know me by now. So there we go. That wraps it up, really. That's the video for today. The update. It's safe. It does work. Slight problem with the compass on the Mini 4 Pro. No problems with the RCN2, as I've just said. So if you got some use out of the video, as always, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up. And like I've just said, if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging a dong, as you know me by now. And you might like to watch those couple of videos I've chosen for you over there. And if you do, I shall see you over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, which will be the DJI Neo. Stick around. We'll see you in the next one.